All right, we are back here doing seminars. This is Mr. Abbott in Pre-Calculus 12, and we are on Learning Guides 6, and we are dealing with geometric sequence and series. Just remember, geometric is when you have a pattern of numbers, so like say 2, and let's say 6, and let's say 18, and so on, that when you're going from one number to the next number, there's a common ratio. We're timesing by 3 each time. So that's geometric. You have a ratio. Where in grade 10 and grade 11, we just did arithmetic. We added 3 or subtracted 3. Now a series is just taking those numbers and adding them up. All right, so let's look at the next page here. All right, so I talked about sequence. It's just a pattern of numbers. So let's just review what arithmetic is. Let's give an example. So just brush up your skills here, because you will be using arithmetic in this guide. So let's say we had, let's say we had 2, 5, 8, and so on. So I know if I look at this from this number to that number and from this number to that number, I can see that I'm adding 3 each time. So now we have a common difference, and we say D is 3. All right, so I know it's arithmetic. Now, the other things you need to know is, what is T1? Well, T1, if you remember, is the first term. So in this case, it's 2. And the other thing, this formula, which you have on your formula sheet, it's called the general. And the general is really important because it's going to help us with sigma notation, getting our formulas. Okay, so let's look at that formula. So we have T1 plus n minus 1 d. So T1 is 2, n minus 1, and the difference is 3. We rainbow in. So we get 2 plus 3 and minus 3. And then we want to collect these like terms. So our general is going to be 3 and minus 1. All right, so there's the general. So that's what we did last year. Now, the new one is geometric. Okay, so the geometric has a ratio. Okay, so an example I could give, let's try 1, 5, 25, and so on. All right, so if you look now, going from 1 to 5, and then going to there, I know I'm multiplying by 5 each time. So we know that as the ratio. Okay, the ratio is 5. And we know T1 is 1. Now the formula that you are going to use is Tn equals T1 bracket, that bracket is really important, n minus 1. And this is on your formula sheet. Okay, you do not have to memorize that. That is on your formula sheet. Now, we just have to plug and chug to get our answer. All right, well, Tn equals 1, because there's our first term, bracket the ratio, and n minus 1. And there is the answer. All right. Now I'm just going to bring to note that when you're finding the ratio, so when you're trying to find the ratio, this little guy, this T2, take away T1, is quite important to know, because sometimes you'll have a pattern or a sequence of numbers for example, like this, that you look at it and I can't really see what the ratio is. So you must do term 2, okay, divided by term 1. Now I don't have a calculator, so I have to do the old-fashioned way, kiss and flip. And then these can cancel out. So the ratio is -4/7. All right, so that's kind of handy to know. Now, just review what this formula is here and what different parts mean. Just remember, this is the first term. This is the ratio or common ratio. This is the number of terms. This is the last term. Or it could be a specific term you're trying to find, and we'll see that in the next page.